Hello and welcome to another video on the Shopify theme development. In today's video, I'm gonna make a quick recap over the theme that I have learned so far by looking at the Shopify theme documentation, right? And combine this knowledge with the Shopify partners partners program. Okay, the Shopify partner. Please do. The Shopify. Oh, come on, man. Jesus. Shopify Academy, man. With the Shopify here. All right. With the Shopify. They launched another one. Liquid Store from theme developers. They're creating is this. So they recognize this is something new, my friend. This is something new. And they recognizes this. And they recognizes this. Introduction to liquid template, liquid optimization for theme developer. Exactly. The liquid store for theme developer certification excellence is a 99% and you must successfully pass. So the point of this, look at this. Look at this. So they create this. All right. Okay. Okay. So someone is actually looking. So Shopify is actually looking because this is a new thing, my friend. This is a new path, a new course they create. All right, interesting. So in any case, that's the reason why I'm looking at this Shopify POS or the Shopify Foundation. Uh, because first is to have the foundation of Shopify about the Shopify 101, the key players in the ecosystem, merchants and customers understand how Shopify works and understand the business model after all. What is the value that people in this particularly market, aka industry, okay, is actually willing to, because despite of passing through two economical crashes or this market crash, okay, in 2008 and then in 2000 in 2020, uh, even though people around the globe, or especially in the US, still use e-commerce. So they see value in exchanging on buying things on the internet and receive that at their doors. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I first looking at this, and second is I dedicate my time and energy and attention to this because this is something that is proving that is sustainable, and the markets approve that. So in other words, people approve that. All right. Perhaps they don't have huge amount of dollars getting here or passing through that, like some sort of whales in Bitcoin ecosystem, or in any other industry, technology, defense, agriculture, entertainment, even though, well, no problem. But so far, I saw that this exchange or this trade of good and service on the internet is something that people value. And that's the reason why I'm looking at this, because I want to use my skill set in a industry that is sustainable as much as possible. So, uh, and you may wonder why. Why do you want to dedicate your time and energy to that? Just to make a quick tangent here, is because after all, I have worked with several companies and I never understood their business model. Why I'm doing the things that I was doing. For example, building an admin dashboard or creating a chat application. Why I was doing all of that kind of things? Like, it's because it have a particular market uh, that, well, it can support that, whether it comes from VC venture capitalists or financial institutions or any other financial institution that are not banks, so credit unions, private equity, that kind of thing. So now things are starting to make a lot of sense. So because of that, well, I choose to do that. So in today's video, what I'm gonna do is to combine the knowledge learned so far in the Shopify partner programs, at least the first two modules, the foundations as Shopify 101 and the introduction to cross-border selling, as well as with the POS and retail. Okay, uh, with my experience as a Shopify, or with my experience as a software engineer. So the TLDR of the Shopify themes, after all, they are shaped. So they shape the online store experience for merchants and customers using web technologies. And theme developers can choose a particular activity that they can go with, or build a theme for a particular merchant, or customize a theme that meets the merchant's needs, or build a theme that meets many merchants' needs and publish that on the theme store. Okay, so the architecture of a theme it follow is the file structure. It follow this file system, or this directory convention folders. Okay, where you have is so much like the same folder convention as the file or the folder structure tree in Linux. Okay. Um, but I'm looking is, oh, come on, man. Why it has a very poor uh, game? Okay, it has a very poor. Jesus. Okay. Well, file file tree directory structure. Remove the three here. Okay. But I want to take a look at the here. Jesus, help that ubuntu.com. Wow. Okay. So it follow is this similar folder structures. So the theme architecture is much like the same, or is inspired from the Linux file system 3, okay, or for example Windows Linux. It is inspired from this OS uh, file system 3. Okay, so in the case of a theme, well, you have things like assets, configurations, layout, locale, sections, snippets, uh, as well as um, templates, and inside of the templates, customers. So the anatomy of a page, which is the markup and features, so you have now the layout where this is the base of the theme, where all templates are rendered, and templates controls what's rendered on each type of page in a theme. So each type of face has an associated template and must have one, and at least one, in order to render, uh, in order to be displayed on the layout. So for example, if you want to render a prototype or the product page, So you must have at least one template associated to that. So you also can do that using the meta objects, which is kind of interesting. This dynamic way of building web application that might go beyond the scope of this today video. All right, it's important to know that, and because Shopify provide a set of page that merchants can turn their idea into a business and start selling, and this set of pages are blog. Uh, all right, this set of pages are. You take a look at the templates. So this set of page, in fact, let me close this. I don't want to get interrupt. That's right. So this type of page are a article, blog, card, product, collections, list collections, search, 404, robot txt, gift card, as well as page related to the customer. So, for example, billing address or address, login, recovery password, register, uh, activate account, and orders, right? So this set of page that Shopify provide by default to merchants allow them to speed up things, so turn their idea into business and start selling. Period. So that makes a lot of sense, especially if you are a theme developer and you combine your previous experience, or in my case, I'm combining my previous experience with the uh, software engineering. Okay, so now things are starting to make a lot of sense. Another part of the anatomy of a page is section groups, which is just a JSON object that lists all of the section and blocks, as well as the display order and settings that is exposed into a merchant. Uh, so sections are reusable model of content, liquid files that allow theme developers to create reusable code and allow the merchant to customize their theme without touching the base. So these settings, inside of that, you can define something called app block. Okay, when you can, or when merchants can add, remove, or uh, yeah, add, remove, or reorder elements inside of the section. So, for example, let's say you want to build a common features, which is display an image and a text side by side. So you expose settings to the merchants that they can change the background, set the text, and display order. And this is just an example of what you can do with this section. That is something very, very, very interesting to know. So, with that, and despite all of this, right? Uh, yeah, and despite all of this, when it comes now to looking at the other part of the anatomy, which is the sections as well as the app block. So this is the five markup or part of the anatomy of a page. So the layout, a template, the section groups and sections, as well as blocks. So if you want to add features to a theme, you can do that using a liquid file for templates, sections, a app block, and snippets. Okay. And for example, if you want to create, let's say, a merchants want that you build a so that you so a merchants come here and tells you, hey, I want you to Create is a way for customers to add products to a cart, right? So you as a Shopify developer can use this particular feature, which is the form tag type product that allow you to do that. Again, there's certain features that Shopify provide to you out of the box as a theme developer, and others you have to create that manually. And that's the reason why you have a lot of apps or themes in their respective stores. So if you want now to know more about the supporting assets, meaning if you want to create, if you want to know when you can set your reusable model of content, this is inside of the snippet folder. Or if you want to create reusable, or if you want, yes, if you want to have full control of the over the appearance and behavior, you can define that as well. The asset, okay, for for controlling the appearance and behaviors or code reusability under the snippets folder. When you want to add features, for example, for JavaScript and CSS files, for optimizations, it is important to have just only one, okay, and you define them under the asset directory. And the other, okay, so now instead of me talking about this, I want to show here the code, okay, so it can be more interactive in that fashion. Okay, so it can be more interactive in that regard. There you go. Okay, so that's right. So exactly. So I talk about the assets where you can define exactly all the JavaScript and CSS file as you need to. And when it comes to load all of those files, you must have for optimization purpose one css.liquid or one liquid.css file and one liquid.js file. So if we take a look at this, for example, I want to know about this liquid file, liquid.js. Okay, nope, we don't have any liquid.js. Base CSS. Interesting. Mhm. You may wonder why you say that kind of thing. Because this is something that the documentation actually mentioned and described in this is the layout here, theme liquids or the CSS. This is liquid CSS. No, there's not anything like that. Dot liquid. Interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So for this theme, actually doesn't have anything like that. Okay. So this theme doesn't have anything like that. And perhaps I look at an old documentation, review your best practice and guiding here, the template sections, blah, 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 blah. Version control, file management. No, that all is not here. Explore tool for building Shopify theme. That was part of the performance. Interesting, 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 interesting. Okay. I may confuse that. Yep. Because in themes they don't describe anything like that. Yep. Nope. In themes they don't describe anything like that. So no problem, no problem, no problem. Okay, no problem, no problem, no problem. Yeah, but in any case, so according to the documentation here, okay, so from the documentation here, the Shopify theme and the kind of thing. So for this documentation, um, there you got it. So for this documentation, which is here, well, I'm describing is that asset is where all of these JavaScript files live. Okay, scroll in animation logic on intersection, initialize scroll and animation, function, zoom in animation logic, percentage screen, okay, or and your CSS file. All right, awesome, perfect. The configuration is where you have is the settings data, and the schema, which is the set of settings that you're going to expose to the merchants, as well as if you want to define reusable code, model of code, you do that is here. For example, if you want to define the appearance or behavior in your themes, this is where you can define this. Okay, so for, mhm. This is where you can define this kind of thing. For example, okay, the snippets, and then you got a templates here, like that. Where you have is interesting. Here we have is something called is article JSON. They follow here is this JSON structure where you have all of the sections as well as their blocks. Okay, if you take a look at it, it has all of these blocks as well as share and content, and it show the block order. So you're gonna show the features and the title and share content, as well as the section order, right? So this actually make a reference to a section called a main article. So when you look at this, okay, you want to look at this main article dot liquid, which actually is the section itself. Here's when you can see now the code, the relevant code for Shopify and all of this. The relevant code for this. Yep, the relevant code as well as the schema. Okay, so things started to make a lot of sense. A lot of sense. But a lot of sense. Okay. Mm-hmm. But a lot of sense. But a lot of sense. Okay. So if you want to know where you can define or when you can put your translations, you can do that is under the locales here, and you have all of these translations. Okay, for all of these common uh, pages and content pages, so you have all of this set of a string for that, right? All of this string. So you have in all of this language as well. So in Chinese, as well as in Vietnamese, I think it is, Portuguese, exactly. Because after all, they want is to use this to provide a localized experience, especially for those businesses that do cross-border selling. Okay, so they want to expand beyond their domestic market or it is primary market. So that's good. That's good. That's awesome. That's awesome. So then I look at how you can distribute your theme. theme distribution. So, or you can pack your zip file, or you can pack your theme in a zip file and you send that to the merchant so he can install that in their store, or you use something called GitHub integration that you bind that to their online store. Okay, that you bind that into their online store, but for that you need to have a staff account. So the store owner must provide a staff account, and then you have the now when you want to push your theme to the store using is the Shopify CLI. And when it comes to build your business around a theme, okay, which is, I must say, is quite interesting. So, theme customization is the most common thing that you can do. All right, so merchants can come to your door and say, "Hey, I want you to customize my themes based on these particular guidelines, okay, or this specific market needs or use case." Great, cool. You can try to apply to a Shopify partner expert or the Shopify partner directory. Right now, they're not taking any new requests, so that's kind of sad. But yes, you can. You know, it's like okay, I can, I can. And the other, all right, and the other is building bespoke things for building bespoke themes or store. So a merchant comes to your door and commission to build a theme for their particular store. Or if a client is new to the platforms, so you can help them to build their store and customize their themes so they can now down the line after you hands off the store to the merchants, you can earn a commission based on a particular criteria. Okay, so that's something that makes a lot of sense, by the way. Also, you can build things for the theme store. So here you have to meet certain strict uh, criteria or certain strict uh, technical maintenance in supporting requirements to make your theme public in the theme store. Uh, and also you can provide applications to the Shopify theme store. Okay, so you can enhance the functionality of your theme store or to other functionalities. So knowing this, okay, now and after I uh, look at the getting started tools like the tools that you can use as well as the best practice and reference, liquid reference, something that they mentioned here, right? So liquid cheat sheets, liquid code examples, customer privacy API, section rendering, Ajax API for themes, liquid reference. Most of this API makes no sense to me right now, at least the liquid reference, or at least the customer privacy API, the section rendering, and Ajax API. Okay, because I don't have my, I didn't get my hands dirty on this. Section rendering, I can understand the concept behind this, as well as the Ajax API and the themes, as well as the customer privacy. But again, one thing is that you get a sense, and the other is that you actually do the work. So, uh, so with that, now I'm looking at building a new thing. And first, by creating a new thing, especially as a new Shopify developer, you want to know is how can I set up my environment and start coding it? Period. Well, tell me, tell me. So in this section, what I'm gonna learn is four important topics, which are part of the Shopify theme development, right? When it comes to create a theme, and some of them when it comes to customize a theme, right? So by creating a new theme, you first you will learn how to set up your environment for that, as well as clone the DOM, which is the Shopify theme reference, including Shopify theme reference, reviewing change on your local code or in your local host, and then push themes code, okay, and then push theme code to your Shopify store and publish your theme. So that's the whole idea of this. That's the whole idea of today's video. So, uh, in previous video, I know how to set up my local environment here, and by looking at the requirement, which is, well, uh, first you need to create a development store for that, which is something that is recommended. Uh, you must set the URL that you wanna. You must so once you create the development store, you must store the URL, the store URL you wanna work, and then you have a collaborator account or staff account with managed theme permissions or themes for that store to you to work on, or you're the store owner. But in any case, they recommend is if you want to use a development store, which is the recommending approach here. So create the development store in the Shopify admin uh, dashboard, okay, and then you get the URL. But if you don't want to use the developer store, you want us to actually start to working for a client or in, let's say you're imagining that you're working with a client directly, that merchant needs to provide you a collaborator account or a staff account. I will encourage the staff account because it allows you to streamline the development process. How so? By allowing you to connect your theme repository, your GitHub repo themes to their store. So, uh, so that's the requirement here, and then you need some installation requirement, which is first, depending on your OS, you need Ruby. Okay, so you need first Node because this is where you're going to mainly uh, live. Node, Ruby, which is heavily used by running several servers, especially for the Shopify platform. Okay, so Ruby, I already installed is RVM, this Ruby version manager. Okay, uh, and because they have a particular way to install, they rely on using CUL. What CUL is a utility tool for data transferring in UDIs. Something that is very, very interesting. It's like, you know, awesome. So command line tool and library from transferring data with URLs. Exactly. Support file FTP, FTPS, Gopher, HTTP, HTTPS, EMAP, EMAPs. All of this protocol. Does include this WebSocket and secure WebSocket as well. Interesting. The protocol that I have familiar with is W WebSocket here, HTTP and HTTPS. This is the two protocols that I'm quite familiar. The SPI I mentioned four, yeah, this fourth protocol. The subtle difference is one of them provides a secure layer, whereas the other is no, the other doesn't. Cool, 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 cool. Uh, I also install is the Ruby development environment, Ruby Dev. Get this distributed version system control, which is awesome. The GNU compiler, the G++ or the C++ compiler, as well as make this build automation for build executable programs from libraries in source code. Interesting, by the way. Very, very interesting. An automation build tool. So after that, well, I install Shopify, especially use that with npm. Okay, so I install Shopify with that, and then I initialize the new theme using DOM by running the Shopify theme in it to clone the DOM Git repository to your local machine. So DOM is Shopify reference themes like this. So built for performance, flexibility, and easy to use. Okay, this is their features and characteristics. You can use DOM as a starting point for building a theme. Okay, so if you're building a theme for the Shopify theme store, then you can use DOM as a starting point. However, the theme that you submit needs to be substantively, easily, interesting, substantively different from DOM so that it provides added value for users. Learn about the ways that you can use DOM. In Terminal, navigate to the working directory where you want to clone DOM and enter in the following command: Shopify theme inits. And what it does is to allow you to pull the reference from your thing and then edit that. But this is something interesting here. There's a caution. However, use the theme that you submit needs. However, the theme that you submit needs to substantively different from done. Substantively, uniqueness, which is part of this. The code must have meaningful difference when construct with code for other themes. The identity of the theme submission should be unique. Your theme should have a clear industry focus because those things that are having tremendous success have a merchant profile in mind. Your theme should have an invented art direction that distinguishes from other themes. Your theme should have a cohesive look and feel across all templates. For example, the index page, product and collection page, blog, search, and the cart. Your theme should offer unique customization option or functionality that distinguishes it from other themes. A merchant should be able to, okay, but this is the characteristic, okay, the features. So in any case, now that I started local development here, which is something that finally I did yesterday. So after you initialize the theme, especially with the Shopify theme development, to interact with the theme in a browser. So Shopify CLI upload the theme as a theme development theme on the store. The commands return a URL that hot reload local chains and CSS and sections, allow you to preview change in real time using the store's data. Very, very, very important here. Okay, so with local development here, it's part of the benefit of this. So the benefits of developing Shopify themes locally. So that's right. So developing Shopify themes locally provides, okay, a hot model reload, or in this case, exactly, hot model or hot reload, mm-hmm, hot reloads, hot reload, local change, hot reloads, hot reload, and preview local change, mhm, in demand or on demand. So preview local change on demand. Exactly. Preview local change on demand. Exactly. Preview local change on demand. And using, okay. So preview local change on demand and use store data. And use stores data. Improving the developer experience. Exactly. Improving the developer experience. Mhm. Improving the developer experience. Exactly. Improving the developer experience. Improving developer experience. Exactly. Improving developer experience. Time feedback time. Improving developer experience. Time developing. Time develop. Time development. Improving developer experience. Uh, improving developer experience and is it improving developer experience and delivery deliveries. Exactly. Or um, change deliveries. Developer experience and change deliveries. Mm-hmm. Theme theme customization deliveries. Exactly. That's exactly what is provided, what is proving. So by improving the developer experience, it also improves the theme customizations deliveries. Crucial, man. Crucial. Crucial, man. Crucial. Crucial. Completely, man. Completely, man. Complete. So in any case, so that's exactly what it's doing. Start a local development server. Okay. So the Shopify theme, what it does is to return a URL with hot load. So it return a URL with hot reloads with hot reloading your local chain. So in other words, what it does is to exactly developing Shopify themes locally provide preview local change on demand on preview local change on demand on CSS. Exactly. So preview local change. Preview preview local sections and CSS change on demand and use the stores data. That's the thing that this local development provide. Okay, so the developer experience, or improving the developer experience in theme customizations delivery. Okay, and I made a no pun intent. No pun intent. That's right. No pun intent. So this is exactly what is doing this Shopify theme development when it comes to run the Shopify CLI. Okay, so by running the Shopify theme dev, it provides a URL with allow you to preview the local change, or allow you to preview local sections and CSS change on demand using the store's data. All right. So using the store's data, the preview is only available in Google Chrome. So the first time you run the dev command, you are prompted. But this is important here. This is very very important here to to know. So after all, is this? It's like, yeah, the step 3 start a local development server. That's exactly what, according to the Shopify docs mentioned, is that once you run this command, Shopify theme dev, okay, uh, what's happening is that it will provide, or it will output a URL that allows you to preview local section and CSS change on demand using the store's data. Great, great, awesome. Using the store data. So anytime I change any section or CSS file under the assets here, so for example, let me actually put that at test. Mm, is this. So if I have this, for example, and since this is the base of this, all right, um, base display no JS, page width is actually using in this variable, this CSS variable. Where is the CSS variable defined? Oh, this is interesting. Page which page width. Where in the F do you define this? No, but one thing is the variable. So page width. Okay, so it also have some things here. So if I, for example, remove the root, right? Then I save that. It's supposed, in theory, to exactly update the asset base of CSS. Right, awesome. And now it will now supposed to update again that. But if in this case, if I modify the GS file, I don't know if actually it's going to do this. Core drawer. I'm assuming that do that as well, exactly. So not only CSS file, but also JavaScript file and sections. Okay. So it means that preview local sections and preview local sections, CSS and JavaScript change on demand. Preview local provides preview local section CSS on demand. Use stores data. Use store data. Exactly. Developing stored themes locally provides provide preview local section CSS GS change on demand and use store data. This improves the developer experience and the theme customizations delivery. Exactly. Exactly. So in theory, this supposed to do this. Okay. So that's great. That's great. That's exactly what it's doing behind the scenes. But the first time you run the dev, you have prompt to log into the Shopify. Here, to serve your theme, run the following command, where store represents the name of the store that you want to use to preview your theme. Okay, and you can also use a dev to generate a preview link. Mhm. Because this is one, you the first time you need to run the store for that. And if you want to modify the store name, you can then pass the store flag again for that. In Google Chrome, navigate to this URL directory. You can also use the dev to generate preview link and a link to the theme editor for the development theme. Mhm. Preview link. The theme editor, no. The preview link. All right. Yep, the following image show a development server being started using the. There you go. Serving, please open this URL in your browser, customize the theme in the theme editor, and use theme pools to get the chance. Use Control C to stop. Exactly. And then you upload your theme to a store. If you want to share, okay, so this is the step 3, start the local development server. I already did that. So if I navigate to that particular URL they describe, which is this, the local host 9292. So I am able to let me navigate to this. So yeah, I'm able to see this. All right, exactly. I'm able to see this Dawn theme reference. Pretty straightforward, right? Multimedia collage is pretty straightforward. Use the catalog, okay? Contact, pretty simple, or also known as the page, okay? This is where you want to see all of the different currencies supported. The search page, right? Awesome. For example, you want to look at GIF, something called GIF. It actually provides this behavior for you. So with this gift card, it will redirect you to the product page with this denominations like this. So if you want to take a look at this gift card variant here, interesting. Gift card variant here. So if you go to the gift card or uh, image with text, so since this is the product page, you may wonder, it's like, how do I know what is the page itself? Okay, so how do I know what is the page itself or the product in this case? So by looking at the product again, the products here, this must have a reference under the templates, okay? Because in order to render that, you must have a reference to the template, okay? Uh, what about now? Okay, you must have a reference to the template, okay? And then is when it renders this, the main products, as well as all of the block here, block order, settings, okay? Image with text, multi-column, and related products. Okay, multi-columns and image with text, Interesting. In order. Main image with text, multicolor, and related products. Okay. So this is where it render all of this. However, however, this is not quite in section main product templates. Yeah, this is not quite friendly, man. I must say that it's like you're not quite friendly, man. So if I take a look at the catalog, okay, where you have all of the collections, okay, inside of here you can see all of the collections. So let me navigate to the collections instead of this. So collections. It's important to look at the Shopify here reference. Reference. Liquid reference. But not only the liquid. In fact, this must be from the from the themes. Specific from the theme. Mhm. Liquid reference, Ajax API, customer privacy, section rendering, liquid cheat sheet, liquid code example. Best practice here, review your best practice and guiding principle for theme development. Review your best practice and guiding principle for theme development. Is here liquid code example and liquid reference. Okay. But right now, what I'm looking is at this. Okay, so what I'm looking is at this. This is this architecture, specifically to the templates. Okay, the overview templates. So if I want to look at the particularly here, is the collections here. Okay, the collection. It render the collection templates. Okay, collection in singular. Okay, so is this must be is the collection in singular. Okay. Renders a collection page which lists all the products within a section. Collection JSON. That's right. And you can access to the collection object to display the collection details. Usage filtering collection, sorting product in a collection, paginating products. Exactly. So, so, okay. So, um, so if I go back to the code here to understand quite a little bit more of this, okay, this is the collection. Now this has a reference on this section, which in fact it rendered this collection. All right, it rendered all of this collection based on this particular way, and there you got it, as well as the schema that it exposed or the settings that it exposed to merchants. Okay, so quite interesting here. Collection hero image container. It actually importing is this from the ASCII URL and style sheet tag. Okay, so now you have access to all of the style relevant to this template, or aka this section, main collection banner. Meaning that, for example, if I remove, this is the collection description. Here it's supposed to render is the search. It's supposed to render is the search. As well as the main product grid. Okay, main collection banner. Okay, in order to know which component are you rendering, you must get access to that particular store. Because that, in that fashion, because in that way, all right, you can now, in this way, is here. So this is okay. I'm gonna add that later. I'm gonna jump straight forward to the theme. Okay, I'm thinking I am the store owner of this because I have access to all of this feature. Okay, so I want to customize. So the developing experience, generate test data. What the hell is with this? Generate test data. But this is a new, this is a different theme. Okay, this is a completely different theme. All right, okay, makes sense. Makes makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Yep, that's right. So it makes a lot of sense. So after I create this, and if I want to now push this theme to my store to actually see those change. So if you want to share a permanent link to your theme, update the code of an existing theme, or prepare for your themes to be published. But this is the three things that you can do here. So if you want to share a permanent link to your theme, permanent link to your theme. Okay, to share a permanent link to your sheet. So if you want to share a permanent link to your theme, update the code of an existing theme, or prepare your theme to be published, then you need to push your theme code to the Shopify using theme push command. The first time your theme code might want to upload, okay, so for example, if I go to this theme and then I suddenly say, hey, you know what, I would like to delete this or remove this, right? This action can be undone, no problem. I remove the Dawn theme from my theme library, okay? No problem, okay? No problem. So, because of that, okay? Because of that, so if you want to share a permanent link to your theme, update the code of an existing theme, or prepare your theme to be published, then you need to push your theme code to Shopify using the theme push command. So the first time you push your theme code, you might want to upload the theme to your theme library as a new unpublished theme. You can do this by running the command with the dash dash unpublished flag. If this is the first time you push your theme code, you might want to upload the theme to your theme library, which is X. That's the reason why it removes that as a new unpublished theme. You can do this by running the command with the unpublished flag. When you run the command using this flag, you are prompt to provide a name for the theme that appears in the theme library. After the theme is created, you can update the code theme by running the push command without any flag. So for the first time, because I was reading about this, okay. So after you install Shopify, so after you then set your local environment, okay, and then you install the CLI, uh, which contains is the Shopify CLI, the Shopify theme, and then you now initialize the theme setup by cloning the DOM reference themes. Now, next is actually running this or start the local development. So this development server, what it does is output a URL which provide preview local section CSS and JavaScript files change on demand using the store's data. Improving is the developer experience and customer, so improving the developer experience and theme customizations deliveries. That's the thing that they're improving here. So once you know how does it work, okay, and especially if you want to now create is a theme development here. So unfortunately, okay, so theme development um, or a theme to a streamline a streamline, yeah, a streamline, I think streamline, yeah. Mm, 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 okay, so streamline, exactly, and a streamline or a simplify, again, streamline or a simplify process. So a streamline theme development, okay. So a streamline theme development right now or at 2 at December 2023, you must have you must have the uh, the the Shopify theme server, the Shopify theme dev server running, okay, for local preview, for local or for hot mode reload, for HMR, okay. Uh, Inside the Shopify dev server running for HMR. In the online store, a streamlined theme development at December 23 for beginners. You must have the Shopify theme dev server running on for HMR, an online theme editor to identify components or to identify sections easily. That's what happened. Hmm. Yep, yep, yep. That's what happened. Okay. All right. Okay. 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 All right. That makes a lot of sense. So by pushing this command, Okay, to unpublish, meaning to the theme library, like this, to the theme library, to the theme library. So let me now take a closer look at this. Right, you got it. To the theme library. Okay, theme name Don Test. Pushing the themes files, pushing the files to Don theme. Exactly. This is the name of reference. This hash on John's appears on this particular store. Exactly. So pushing the theme files, the name of the theme, with the reference, the unique ID, and the hash number on the name of the store. Young Apparel 101. Blah. That's right. And that's all. Your theme was published successfully. View your theme at this directory to preview the theme. Customize these themes in the theme editor. Exactly. Customize the theme in the theme editor. All right. So now let's go. Let's actually click here. Your theme was pushed successfully, but I don't want to publish. You know, I don't want you to publish that. So meaning is, let me look at here. Create a theme here. All right. So now that I'm reloading, I should be able to look at Don't Test here in my store. Exactly. Awesome. 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 And then I can choose to publish, right? So I can say, hey, I would like to publish my theme here. This will replace your current theme test data. Exactly. So publish that. But it doesn't matter because since all of those data has sync with the new theme, I should be able to all of this, as well as the sections involved per component. So you have the collection like this, and you have collage. Okay, where here in collections where you actually is rendering all of this. This is the product, and then what is the collection? Okay, all of these blocks inside of the collage, right? Image banner, as well as the exactly, as well as the inputs that or the settings that the merchants can customize, right? I am as a merchant here is like this. It's like okay, so rich text and this collage, multi-column. Interesting. All of these features that it provides. Okay, and then you can reorder. Exactly, then you can reorder. That's one of the reasons you might have or you would like to have is this. Because here, for example, in the collage, you perhaps want to reorder them, right? You might want to collect, exactly, you might want to customize a product here, as well as this, or your collections here, that kind of thing. So every time you change a new image, you provide a new set of image. So, okay. All right, but this is a small change that it provides. Okay, awesome, interesting. Very, very interesting. So now things are starting to make a lot of sense, but a lot of sense, a lot of sense. a lot of sense. So in fact, I can now, if I go to my terminal and do something, go back to the terminal, go back to the terminal here. Yeah, go back to the terminal here. Do, 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 do. That's right. So you go back to the terminal here. And nope, my one is to restore this file, by the way. Git restore the assets as well as the base here. That's right. Again, list and meaning I want is to add a repository here. Git. I don't think you have Git here. I know that you got it. Git. Okay. Awesome. Git branch minus a. All right. Holy f. Git remote. I don't know. Git remote help here. Git remote. Uh, but I want to look at those remotes. Git remote verbose. Okay, I have this origin here, but I want to add a new one, right? So git remote add the name of the branch, okay, branch master tags, no tags, where I'm going to provide is the name, and that is the GitHub repo, and the URL, meaning that I need to create on GitHub, okay, a particular I need to create a new repository here. This will be is Shopify Dawn theme test. Okay, so make it public. That's right. Add a readme. No, not at all. And now I want is to add that remote exactly. But in this case, it won't be called origin. It will be called Euler GitHub and the URL, because here we're using is SSH, the secure shell connection. So I already add that in because I want is to push that. So Git, it tells me, hey, you should rename your branch. I think I have that branch renamed as main. That's right. So they follow this convention to feel less guilty. Git push uh, upstream. So any change that I made, please keep sync with the Euler GitHub main branch. So meaning what I'm doing here is just pushing all of the entire Dawn theme reference here to this new branch. So if I take a look at this, all right, and reload, okay, what happened? Bam, we got this completely, man, completely. Shopify down theme test one. All right, all right, all right. And here we can see is the reality. So Dawn represents HTML first, JavaScript only as needed, Exactly. JavaScript only as needed approach to theme development. It is a Shopify first source available theme with performance, flexibility, and online store 2.0 features. Built in and act as a reference for building Shopify theme. Web native in its purest form. Themes run on evergreen web, so no polyfill. We leverage the latest web browser to their fullest while maintaining support for oldest one through progressive enhancement. No polyfills. Lean, fast, and reliable. JavaScript not required. Fails gratefully. Server rendering. Functional, not pixel perfect. The web doesn't require each page to be rendered pixel perfect by each browser engine. And there you go. So getting started here, staying up to date with Dawn Chen's Git remote version, exactly. So you can add this. I already have that. So by looking at the remotes that I have here locally, git git remote here. Okay. So git remote. Mm-hmm. So git remote. There you got it. Git fetch, git push. What in the F exactly? Give Shopify down git remote, and then you pull that upstream from the main. So it add this as the upstream, not the origin. Okay, staying up to date. So it changed that. It add upstream here. So if I do this, meaning that when I run this, exactly, and I can is rename. So I can now rename my origin here. Git add origin, where it says no, but I would like to remove that. So git remote uh, remove origin, please, and please add that origin to that. So when I say git remote show me all of this, I already have that properly linked to the GitHub repo, and I want now to git remove, git remote, git remote remove the this, and there you got it. Awesome. All right. Okie dokie. Theme check. We recommend using theme check as a way to validate and link to your Shopify theme. We add theme check to down to list of the VS Code extension if you're using Visual Studio Code, and there you go. So you can also use this Shopify theme check, continuous integration. Don't use GitHub Actions to maintain the quality of the theme. This is a starting point and what we suggest you use in order to ensure that you're building better themes. Completely, completely. Theme check. hmm I don't think they actually add that GitHub workflow. Okay. And here, the lighthouse, for example. To look at the theme check. hmm Okay, but that'll be all for this video. Take care. Bye bye.